suspend the rules and pass the bill H.R. 3409, the Coast Guard Authorization Act of 2019 as amended.
The clerk report the title of the bill.
H.R. 3409, a bill to authorize appropriations for the Coast Guard and further purposes.
Pursuant to the rule, the gentleman from Oregon, Mr. DeFazio, and the gentleman from Ohio, Mr. Gibbs, each will control 20 minutes. The chair recognizes the gentleman from Oregon.
Mr. Speaker, I ask the unanimous consent all members to have 5 legislative days within to which to revise and extend their remarks and include extraneous material in H.R. 3409 as amended.
Without objection.
Mr. Speaker, I yield myself such time as I may consume.
The gentleman is recognized.
Mr. Speaker, I'm pleased to rise today and speak in strong support of H.R. 3409, the Coast Guard Reauthorization Act of 2019. This is genuinely bipartisan legislation which will reauthorize funding for the United States Coast Guard, the Federal Maritime Commission for fiscal years 2020 and 2021. The bill also advances other important provisions to help both the economic competitiveness and effective regulation of the U.S. maritime industry. It's the latest in a long line of major legislation from this committee reported to the House on a bipartisan basis and underpinning essential functions of government, as in this case, United States Coast Guard and the Federal Maritime Commission. Couldn't have better partners than I had. My ranking member, Sam Graves, and the chair, Sean Patrick Maloney, and the ranking subcommittee member, Representative Bob Gibbs. They worked hard on this legislation, and many of their concerns were included in the final product, and each of them has joined as an original co-sponsor, which I appreciate. We have also worked with other members of the committee on both sides of the aisle and the House to include provisions that address concerns raised by them or their constituents. You know, we all know that over the last few years, the Coast Guard budgets have been inadequate, mostly a byproduct of mandatory cuts imposed by the so-called Budget Control Act. And this inadequate funding has left the Coast Guard, as Admiral Schultz has said, at a tipping point. The legislation at long last begins to reverse that downward spiral. $11 billion for the Coast Guard's discretionary budget for fiscal years 2020, 2021. This tracks the recently increased appropriations of the last 2 fiscal years, builds in a 2% inflation adjustment to arrive at the highest authorized funding levels for the Coast Guard in recent memory. Is that totally adequate? No, it isn't. But it is at least incremental progress in a town where we aren't seeing a lot of progress on a lot of things these days. I'm particularly pleased that the top line numbers for procurement, acquisitions, improvement have been pushed up to 2.7 and 2.8 billion. That means the Coast Guard should be able to maintain its ongoing recapitalization programs, including the critically important offshore patrol cutter, the new fleet of polar security cutters, which will be absolutely vital to deal particularly with the opening of the Northwest Passage and also to continue critical support to our assets and activities in Antarctica. It wasn't a great year for the Coast Guard when we had the stupid government shutdown. They were continuing to carry out their critical homeland security duties in addition to their daily life-saving duties, their drug interdiction duties, all many and at high-risk profession. And yet they weren't being paid. They were escorting the subs out of Bremerton. The sailors were being paid on the subs, the Coast Guard providing critical surface support and protection were not being paid. I had originally included in this legislation provisions to be assured that the Coast Guard would be paid in case of another government shutdown. Unfortunately, the very stupid budget rules we have around here say that We will pretend that they will never be paid, and if that's the case, then we won't have a Coast Guard anymore. Therefore, to mandatorily pay them during a shutdown would count as new deficit, like we're never going to pay them. Pretty dumb rule, but those concerns were raised by people above my pay grade, and I reluctantly removed the provision from the bill, but I am going to continue to push for that provision as we move forward through the appropriations process and elsewhere. I'll look for any opportunity I can to recognize the service of the Coast Guard. There's also in this bill a modest $1.4 million increase in the budget of the Federal Maritime Commission. This will help them implement the most extensive package of amendments to the Ocean Shipping Reform Act since 1998, particularly looking at antitrust oversight of foreign flag commercial carrier alliances that transport more than 98% of U.S. foreign commerce. Our over-reliance on foreign flag carriers to move the commerce of the United States is a growing liability and yet unintended consequence of our trade policies. Only now are we beginning to recognize and grapple with the implications of this dependence on our national and economic security. The increased authorized funding of $29 million for the operating budget should provide them with the additional resources they need to actually be a cop on the beat, ensure foreign carriers comply with the fair shipping practices and compliance with all U.S. antitrust requirements. I'm also pleased with provisions that would boost coastwise trade and potentially our shipbuilding industry. We're reaffirming, yet again, long-term support for the Jones Act, including clarifications as to how the Jones Act applies to maritime transportation and heavy lift activities that occur offshore. I believe the language in this bill strikes a sensible path forward. I look forward to resolving any outstanding questions and concerns in conference with the United States Senate. Just as important, the bill provides new authorities to address new emerging ocean technologies, unmanned systems, to ensure Coast Guard has enough competence to either use or regulate the use of such systems. Amendments to build on progress made last Congress to improve maritime safety requirements, strengthen standards to prevent discrimination, sexual assault, and harassment, promote gender equity in the Coast Guard, at the U.S. Merchant Marine Academy, and across the U.S. maritime industry. This is vital legislation, vital to the Coast Guard, maritime shipyard workers across this country. Again, I want to thank my colleagues, and I urge an aye vote, and I reserve the balance of my time.
Gentleman